All right, so moving on to the next segment. I'll be sharing my fight prediction for this weekend's fight taking place in the sport of boxing between Terence Crawford and Israil Madrimov, excuse me. So, we will be seeing the return of Terence Bud Crawford, a pound-for-pound great, arguably the greatest fighter in the sport of boxing today. We'll be seeing the return of Terence Crawford, who will be moving up to the super welterweight division. He'll be making his debut at 154 to fight Israil Madrimov for the WBA and the vacant WBO world titles at the super welterweight division. So, Terence Crawford and Israil Madrimov have a good opportunity of walking away a unified world champion at the super middleweight division. And the reason why the WBO world title is vacant at this division is the fact that when Sebastian Fundora and Tim Tszyu fought back in springtime for the WBA or WBC and WBO world titles, obviously Sebastian Fundora defeated Tim Tszyu. However, Sebastian Fundora decided to surrender and vacate the WBO world title to fight, instead of Terence Crawford, fight Errol Spence, who also will be debuting soon at the super welterweight division. So that is the reason why the WBO world title is vacant. We will be seeing Sebastian Fundora versus Errol Spence for the WBC super welterweight title down the line. But this is not about them today. It's about Terence Crawford and Israil Madrimov. So these are my following storylines heading to this fight. Will Terence Crawford be ready to move up to 154 to fight a dangerous, younger, faster, stronger guy in Israil Madrimov? Now, obviously, I'm never going to take anything away from Terence Crawford. If you guys follow the combat series, I have said several times that Terence Crawford has been the best boxer that we've seen since Floyd Mayweather retired in 2017. But this is not a walk in the park for your debut at 154. No, Terence Crawford is not ducking smoke. He does not like tune-ups. He's going in to fight the best that 154 has to offer. And that was supposed to be Sebastian Fundora until he turned his attention to Errol Spence. So you're fighting the next best champion. That is Israil Madrimov. So this is not no walk in the park. Israil Madrimov nearly has 10 years of age on Terence Crawford. I believe the age gap is 7 years, but that does not mean anything. However, that could mean something in this division because Israil Madrimov has been at this division long enough to be a world champion. He knows what it's like to make 154. He knows what it's like to make weight and fight comfortably at this division. Terence Crawford, this is his first walk in the park at 154. So we're going to see if Terence Crawford can adapt like he's done at 135, 140, 147 in the past. He's already a 3-division world champion. So I'm just looking forward to seeing how Terence Crawford will adapt moving up to 154 to fight a dangerous fighter in Israil Madrimov. Now, is Israil Madrimov ready for the biggest moment and the biggest opportunity of his boxing career? He's never been in the boxing ring with a world champion, let alone an all-time great in Terence Crawford. So this is going to be a huge test to see where Israil Madrimov is, whether he wins this fight, whether the fact that how good he looks at losing this fight, if it's a competitive fight, if this is a one-sided affair. We're going to have to see if Israil Madrimov is ready for this moment. And a lot of questions are going to be answered when him and Terence Crawford fight in LA in a unified super welterweight title fight in the sport of boxing. So this is my tale of tape for the fight. The challenger, Terence Crawford, he's 40-0, 40 wins, 0 losses, 31 victories come away of knockout. Former 2-time undisputed champion in 2 different weight classes. Second ever male boxer to accomplish that in the sport of boxing. He's a 3-division world champion. Currently stands at 5'8" and has a reach advantage of 74 inches. Then I'm looking at the champion, Israil Madrimov. He's 10-0. He's 10-0. 10 wins, 0 losses, 1 draw to his resume. He has 7 victories come away of knockout. The reigning defending WBA super welterweight champion stands at 5'8" and has a reach advantage of 68 inches. So both the challenger and the champion both stand at 5'8", but the reach advantage goes to the challenger and Terence Crawford. So These are the following game plans that I have for these respective fighters to follow. They plan on walking out of Los Angeles, California, the new reigning, defending, unified super welterweight champions. Who wants it more? Who wants to walk out of LA with that WBA and WBO world titles? Starting off with the champion, Israil Madrimov. I think Israil Madrimov has to start off fast. Has to put his foot on the gas pedal. Start off fast. Start off quick. Start off dangerous. Start off effective if he wants to win this fight against Terence Crawford. Because Terence Crawford, in the past, I'm not saying we've seen it recently. David Havnesian, when he fought him in 2022. And, of course, last summer when he fought Earl Spence. Those are the two times in recent memory I haven't seen Terence Crawford start off slow. But if you do your homework and all those fights against Kell Brooks, Sean Porter, etc., Terence Crawford has actually taken some time to get ready to learn his opponents in the boxing ring, collecting data, if you will. Something similar to what Gervonta Davis does at times in the sport of boxing. But I think if he can start off quick, while Terence Crawford might be trying to learn and pick up some data on him, land some significant shots, open up Terence Crawford to see what you can land on him, land some significant shots to send a message to Terence Crawford early that you are here from start to finish. You are here to land some powerful shots. That's what I want to see Israil Madrimov do. And I think that could go a long way in the judges' scorecards if this fight goes to decision, if Israil Madrimov starts off quick, fast, and effective against Terence Crawford. Now, nextly, I think Israil Madrimov is going to have to land body shots. One of the best things about Israil Madrimov and his toolbox and his repertoire is landing body shots. And I think if Israil Madrimov can do that against Terence Crawford, that could go a long way in this fight, landing some significant body shots. That could slow the pace down for Terence Crawford, who is moving up to 154, coming up from welterweight to 154. He's never fought at this division. Land some body shots, see what type of punishment he could take that could slow down Terence Crawford offensively. That could lead with Israil Madrimov, if you land some body shots, that could lead to some feints. That could land to some significant jabs and power shots being landed in this fight. So I think when you land the body shots and then you feint it and then come in with some significant jabs instead or some powerful shots instead, I think that could go a long way for Israil Madrimov if he has a true chance to defeat Terence Crawford in this fight. Land the body shots to set up some feints for some jabs and some powerful shots later on in the fight. And last but not least, I want to see Israil Madrimov create distance and control the pace of the fight. How he's going to do that, that's not an easy task against Terence Crawford. I won't lie to you guys. That's not easy. But if he can create distance, control the pace of the fight, fight coming forward, make Terence Crawford fight on his back foot, cut off the ring, make it a one-sided, make this feel like it's a one-sided affair. In terms of cutting the ring off, of you being the bully on the block and cutting off the ring where Terence Crawford doesn't really have much angles to fight him. And you can apply the pressure, make Terence Crawford feel uncomfortable, because what Terence Crawford could do best is fighting at different angles. That's what has made him a pound for pound great, fighting at different angles. Switching it up, switching his stances. And if you can walk down Terence Crawford, cut the ring off, apply pressure, this can make Terence Crawford feel uncomfortable. Make him second guess things. Make him make a mistake. And that is what Israil Madrimov could need to open the door for him to have an opportunity to win this fight against Terence Crawford. But those are the game plans that I have for Israil Madrimov against Terence Crawford. Now, my game plans for Terence Crawford. Do not let Israil Madrimov cut off the ring. Now, I just said that's what Israil Madrimov is going to do, or he should try to do, cut the ring off against Terence Crawford. But I think Terence Crawford should not allow this to happen. Move around the ring, be active, be effective, switch stances like Terence Crawford has done against several opponents. Move around the entire ring, fight at different angles so you're comfortable fighting a weight bully. Because Israil Madrimov packs a punch. If you guys haven't seen his fights live, go and watch the tape of him. Really powerful puncher at 154. Next, I think Terence Crawford has to win the counter-punching battle. I will say it right here, right now, as I record this segment tonight. Terence Crawford is the best counter puncher in the sport of boxing today. Hands down. Hands down. Terence Crawford showed me that. And he showed me how quick and effective he is as a counter puncher when he fought Earl Spence last summer. I mean, damn, everything that Earl Spence threw at him, he was already there. On time, precise, efficient, landing his strikes at the counter punch. So I think if he could do that against Israil Madrimov, it's his world all night long. Land the 2-1 counters. Land the overhand right hand. It's Terence Crawford's world if he could win the counter punching battle against Israil Madrimov, who is a younger fighter, who could come in stronger, faster, but he doesn't have the technique like Crawford. All you got to do is win your game. All you got to do is go to your bread and butter. And that bread and butter that Crawford has is a counter punching battle. If he could do that against Israil Madrimov, it could be a short night in the office for him. Now, last but not least, I think Terence Crawford is going to have to take Israil Madrimov into the deep waters and drown him. Because Israil Madrimov has never been in the ring with a world champion, let alone an all-time great and a pound-for-pound great in Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford has seen it all, done it all in the sport of boxing. And I think the weakest thing that I've seen and dissected from Israil Madrimov's game plan, from his film, is the fact that Israil Madrimov, as the longer the fight goes on, his gas tank dwindles little by little. And if you pay attention to the film, his gas tank likes to run on E. And he gets tired and he doesn't look the same offensively as the fight goes on, as it gets to later rounds. That's going to be a key ingredient to see how long he can hang with Crawford if he is going to beat him. But I think if Terence Crawford takes him to the deep waters and drowns him, uses that championship experience, and just continues to control the pace of the fight as the later rounds go on, Terence Crawford is going to win this fight if he does the game plans that I said. Because as good as a fighter I think Israil Madrimov is going to be one day, I just don't think it's his time. But with that being said, I'm going to go with Terence Crawford to defeat Israil Madrimov by knockout in the 8th round to become the new super welterweight champion, the unified super welterweight champion, winning the WBA and the vacant WBO world titles at this division. Now, the fact that Terence Crawford is getting in the ring, moving up at 154 to fight one of the best fighters that this division has to offer right now, Israil Madrimov. This fight is not going to be a walk in the park. But I think Terence Crawford just has everything you need to win this fight at this moment. Because Terence Crawford is going to use his boxing IQ. He's seen it all, done it all, 2-time undisputed champion in 2 different weight classes. He's going to use his boxing skills that brought him to the dance to be a 3-division world champion in the first place. The greatest fighter, in my opinion, that we've seen since Floyd Mayweather has retired. He's going to win the counter-punching battle. He's the greatest counter-puncher right now in the sport of boxing. And he's going to use that overhand right hand to defeat a young, talented fighter, Israil Madrimov. And I think that's going to be the reasons why that Israil Madrimov is going to lose against Terence Crawford. Also, like I just touched up on, Israil Madrimov, if you look at his film, if you haven't watched him live, look at his film, and his gas tank dwindles little by little as the later rounds go on. He's not the same fighter that he once was in the earlier rounds. He gets tired and he looks a little sloppy offensively. And that's something that you don't want to bring to the table when you're fighting arguably the pound for pound, the greatest fighter in the sport of boxing today in Terence Crawford. So I think Terence Crawford's going to use all those ingredients that I just touched up on. And a lot of people don't talk about Terence Crawford's power. The man knocked out every welterweight that he fought at the welterweight division. He's elevating his power up to 154. That's another reason why I do believe that Terence Crawford is going to knock out Israil Madrimov in the 8th round to become the new unified champion at this division, winning Israil Madrimov's WBA world title and capturing the vacant WBO world title. But that is my fight prediction for this weekend's fight between Terence Crawford and Israil Madrimov.